And I'm joined by Anita Powell. She's stepped over from the Animas insulin pump booth to show us their latest product.
Hi Scott, I'm here with the Animas 2020. This is an insulin pump, and it is the latest from Animas Corporation. A little bit about the insulin pump. It does deliver fast-acting insulin through a tube, and many of you may be familiar with insulin pumps, but for those of you who aren't, I'll go through some of the basics to show you how it works. Okay. First of all, with an insulin pump, you have to have a cartridge filled with insulin, and this is what the cartridge looks like.
Okay.
It comes unattached here. We will connect the needle there and the filling aid and get the cartridge ready to draw up the insulin. I'm going to be using a bottle of saline today, but you can use any fast-acting insulin in the insulin pump.
So that needle, which is so big, only goes into the bottle of...
That's a good point. It goes nowhere near you.
Right.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to scare people with that right off.
Exactly. So I'm going to draw up the insulin here and get the bubbles out.
I was on insulin pump for 4 years, but it's been about 4 years ago.
Okay. So some things have changed.
Yes, some things have changed.
And that's how you would put insulin into the cartridge that later goes into the insulin pump. Okay.
And Animas is part of Lifescan now.
Animas is part of the Johnson & Johnson family of companies. Yes, we are.
So for those of you that have been using your one-touch meter for years and years, Lifescan purchased this pump and I guess has plans to integrate them in the future?
That may be part of the plan, yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
They're kind of keeping hush about that for now.
Okay. Well, I wanted to show you also, this is the inset. This is made by Unimedical, and this is the infusion set that goes into the skin. It comes packaged like this.
It's a toy.
It does look like a toy out of a bubblegum machine maybe,
yeah.
But you unwrap the tubing, and right here you have the backing on the adhesive.
Oh, a spiral.
It spirals.
Okay.
And then you disconnect this piece, that's the cover for the needle, and this is also the inserter. So this just pulls back like so.
And then you find a place on your body.
You do.
With no hair, possibly?
Possibly, because the adhesive's going to be there, exactly.
Right.
And here is a pillow, unless you want to volunteer, Scott. To
no, go ahead and do the pillow today.
Okay. And all you do is you place this against the skin once it's been cleansed properly.
Okay.
And I'll have you do this. Just press right here on each side. There's some thumbprints there.
Okay.
And as you press it, that inserts it.
Wow.
I'll make sure that it's securely placed there. And the needle comes out. This is the needle.
So that's just in you for a second.
Just for a second, and actually only a very small portion of that is under the skin.
Okay.
And what that does, it inserts a small plastic catheter under the skin to allow for the insulin delivery. Okay.
And this is like a little heart shape.
It is. It comes in different colors.
Okay.
And different lengths of tubing as well. And I'll put the cap back on the inset, and now you can dispose of that or recycle it.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it have to be in a Sharps?
It depends on your local community's guidelines for disposing needles, but many communities will allow this to be thrown away in the garbage. Yes. Okay. So the next step would be to take out the old cartridge.
Oh, it just pops out.
It just pops out very easily.
Okay.
And you would discard this and reconnect this new piece to
slip it through the cap.
Your cartridge. Okay.
Okay.
And that will go back in the pump after a series of steps to rewind the cartridge plunger and to insert it.
Okay.
And I'll show you.
Oh, it's a color screen.
And look at this. It is a
colors.
high-definition colored screen on the Animas 2020, and that's one of the reasons it's called the 2020. And what I'm doing now is I'm rewinding the pump.
2020 applies to vision?
2020 vision. So it's very easy to see. Exactly.
It does. The letters are very crisp. So now it's getting ready to put the...
It is rewinding.
Okay.
And what I will do is get this ready here. I'm going to insert the cartridge and tighten the cap. and go through one more quick step called a prime to get the air out of the tubing.
Okay.
And then you can connect these two pieces once the pump is primed.
So you go until the insulin's dripping out of the little
exactly.
piece
You
there.
want to make sure that you see.
Load cartridge active.
And continue and go prime. So that's a very quick process there.
Okay.
And then it connects.
And this is how you disconnect if you were going to take a shower or
right, if you wanted to
go swimming
disconnect.
or something.
Exactly. So you could just easily pinch that off and reattach it. And one thing about going swimming, I wanted to mention that the Animas insulin pump is waterproof at 12 feet for 24 hours.
Oh.
So
This right here can be submerged?
it can be submerged. So if you wanted to go swimming with your insulin pump attached, you could do that.
So what are some of the features that makes your pump different from the others here at the show?
Well, some of the things I've already mentioned. We're the only pump with a high definition color screen.
Okay.
Another great difference is that on the basal rate, and the basal delivery is simply the small amount that's delivered 24 hours a day at a slow, constant drip. We can deliver with the Animas pump a basal rate as low as 0.025. We're very proud of that. Very precise dosing on the Animas insulin pump. And that's a great resource.
Zero. So the early pumps was 0.1.
0.1.
So this is like a fourth of that.
Yes, exactly. And that's a great thing for people who are on very low doses of insulin, children, type 1s in general who are on a very low dose of insulin. Okay.
All right.
I think that's some of the main differences in
Okay.
our pump.
Does it come with a case, or do people customize those?
You can use many different cases that are on the market, and it does come with a low-profile clip.
Okay.
So it's small. It's the smallest full-featured insulin pump, so it fits in just about any case that's available.
Anita, that's terrific.
Okay. Well, thank you, Scott, for having me here today.
I really like that. Thanks for coming down.
Thanks.